Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I've I feel like I've been harassed, I've been bullied, I've been abused, manhandled. Leeds took us to the cleaners. They absolutely took us to the cleaners.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I'm so shook after that match. I had to bring in Ishan as well because generally, I do the reviews by myself. But today I was like, you know what? I'm so shook. And I think Ishan is so shook as well. We were literally talking off air. We can't go to bed after this. This is something crazy. What just happened? Ishan, as we were saying off air, we've lost before under Thomas Tuchel. Like we've had losses. But those losses, predominantly, we've been like, do you know what? We didn't play well. Like, I wish we played well. We weren't good enough. In this match, yes, we weren't good enough, but it's a different feeling. The opposition, Ishan, was head and shoulders better than us. In every department, they were better than us. Pressing, passing, intensity. They ran. This is the ridiculous part. They ran 10 to 11 kilometers more than us. That's literally one more player more than us. Ishan, I'm shook. They bullied us. They like for the first time after a long time under Thomas Tuchel, I felt like I'm not. It's not that I'm not upset. I'm upset, but I'm devastated. I'm broken a little bit. How can Leeds manhandle us like that, Ishan?
Yeah. This is, I mean, we all are rattled, man. We're shook to the core. And the point that you made, Miz, is a very important point that this is not our first loss. This is not our first bad performance under Thomas Tuchel, right? We've had multiple losses in the past as well. But this is something else. It's like our level is down against our competitors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not acceptable. Earlier, whenever we lose, it's like we've played bad. We know our level is above our opponents, but we've played bad. If we play good, we can still keep up. We can definitely beat this opponent, right?
Yeah.
That shows that our level is still intact. It's down to our performances. Do you know what I mean, Miss? Put up some effort, put up some performances, put up some analysis of the tactics up there. We will do better. But then you had no answers, Miz. The team is literally levels above you. It's like Man City, Liverpool levels, Miz. This loss felt like you've lost to Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid-esque, right?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, this team is better than you. And this is not acceptable. Why? Because
That's not acceptable. No.
If I lost this against Man City, that still I would have said that I accept the fact that Man City is a better team than us. Probably that's why it has led to this result, which might be a possibility. Still, it's a huge thing. Losing 3-0 to any team, being a Chelsea FC, is a huge thing. But still, if a team like a Man City, a Liverpool, a Bayern Munich would concede 3-0 to them, that would still be somewhat, we could go to the bed saying that we've lost to one of the best teams in the world, right, Miz? We've lost to Leeds United 3-0, and the mannerism, it's like we gave up mentally.
Bro,
psychologically.
They pumped us, bro. They pumped us. Do you know what I mean? Ishan, tactically, central overload, midfield. They outnumbered us in midfield in first half. Everyone looked isolated. Jorginho looked isolated. Conor Gallagher looked isolated. Every time any of our players, we always looked isolated. Ruben Loftus-Cheek would get the ball, isolated. Any of our defenders would get the ball, isolated. And for some reason, Ishan, they always seem to have 2 or 3 players on us. Yeah. How is that? And this is why they've ran. This is why their stats of running has outnumbered us, because every time our player had the ball, they had 2 or 3. So whenever then we passed to the next person, they ran to the next person. Bro, this was an animal performance, man. This was like animalistic performance.
Every nooks and corners we've been beaten with. tactically, Thomas Tuchel has been thrashed this game.
Thrashed.
I've not seen Thomas Tuchel tactically being defeated so badly. I mean, we thought that yes, Leeds are a good pressing team. They're going to keep a
Yes.
high line,
Yes.
but the mannerism of the high line, the discipline in the high line, you know, the level of
But how many
defense.
offsides did we
How
had? Like
many
at least 6
offsides?
or 7 offsides minimum.
And not even players like Havertz or Werner or Lukaku, you know, guys like Sterling and Mount were getting offside. Man, come on.
Reece James got offside.
Reece James got offside. These are the guys with good IQ sense, at least. You know, I believe good footballing IQ, but even they were getting offside multiple times, and that did not change in the second half as well. Tactically, Thomas Tuchel was thrashed. Their ball retention, Leeds ball retention, in the midfield was on next level. They lost the ball in the midfield, they gained back the ball in midfield by virtue of pressing from two players, not one player. You know, we passed the ball, those two players, out of one, those two players, and two new players marked the man who was receiving the ball. So heavily man marked. We were beaten, totally beaten in the midfield. You know, attack, I would say in the initial part of the game, it was fine. Probably we'll speak a bit on that. But then overall, man, Leeds, we were beaten heavily, man.
Punished
no two
us,
ways about it.
bro. Honestly, Ishan, I never expected this off the back of that Spurs game. I really thought off the back of that Spurs game, we're going to come in with some momentum. Our rivals have won in terms of Arsenal, Spurs, Man City are probably going to win later today. God knows. I just thought in order to keep up with their momentum, like honestly, Ishan, if we play Arsenal now, they will pump us. They will pump us.
Oh, easily, man.
The way they move the ball, the way today, I'm just shook, man. Honestly, I'm just shook. Let's talk about some of the players. Let's talk about Edouard Mendy, Ishan. Judgment Day. I've now seen too many of these mistakes. I even told you in the watch along that Real Madrid mistake, first leg, Karim Benzema. And there was many. There was West Ham game. We did a watch along last season. That was mad what we saw Edouard Mendy do. And there was plenty. There's been plenty of other moments where he's done an absolute howler. Ishan, this guy is not being comfortable with the ball on his feet. Something's wrong with him.
Correct.
He's Ishan, we can't even blame the guy who did the back pass. I think it was Thiago Silva. He had enough time to find a pass or hit it long. Instead, he does some tiki-taka Barcelona style of brings the ball in, and he got eaten. He literally got eaten up by that press.
Yeah.
Ishan, Kepa's name has to be in the conversation, but then Kepa has problems in terms of shot stopping. What do we do, bro? What do we do?
I don't know, man. This is a huge dilemma, isn't it? I mean, and rightly said by you, Miz, it's not the first time that has happened. You know, it's multiple times, and now it's just the beginning of this new season, and he's done this a big mistake, probably. And I don't know, Miz, how do you assess the game? But to be very honest, Miz, I thought that we could have coped up with Leeds if this mistake did not happen.
That goal broke our back.
This goal psychologically beat us down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Miz, I know the fact that, before we conceded the first goal, both the teams were going, up and down. There were to and fro motion of the ball a lot. It was like a basketball-esque game.
Yeah.
I thought that we still could have, coped up. Miz, we are Chelsea FC. You know your team. I know my team. We are not that bad that our opponents would run 10, 11 kilometers more than us. We know that we can cope that up. We are not that bad. I know my team. We are not that bad. We could have done that. Leeds can put up their momentum, their intensity so high. So can we. But I think so that goal and probably the goal following to it broke us down psychologically.
Broke us. Absolutely broke us.
That's my assessment. I don't know. I mean, yes, definitely. Everybody is to be blamed. Thomas Tuchel needs to take a huge blame on that, and on an overall basis, we did not improve the whole 90 minutes. But then psychologically, we got broken down there. And we could not recover. Simply, we gave up.
Bro,
once we gave up, Miz, I think so. That's when we allowed Leeds to run 10 kilometers more than us. Do you know what I mean? Or else there has to be some commitments, in the field. We could have done something, but I think so. That was the point. Yes.
Bro, do we give Kepa a chance now? Because I know it's just one mistake, but it's not even just one mistake. He's done many mistakes like this previously.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, man. I'm lost now. I feel like
Miz,
maybe Kepa deserves at least one chance now, at least a shot.
Miz, we wouldn't have been conversating this if this was just one time. This has been
Correct.
a lot of times.
Correct.
Correct. These mistakes has costed us games in last season as well.
Yep.
Probably that's why we are talking the same topic now, and it has been a concern. And the problem here is we're a possessive style gameplay. We're a team who plays possessive style gameplay and builds right from the back from goalkeeper.
Yeah.
If your goalkeeper's shaky like that, huge question
It's
mark.
like Man United, Ishan. David De Gea.
David De Gea. I mean,
look at the mistakes he's doing now because they have to play out from the back. If your goalkeeper, you know what? A lot of people say this, and some people laugh. They say that if you're going to be a possession-based footballing team, your priority should be to get a good goalkeeper because everything starts from the goalkeeper first. And if 100%. Your goalkeeper is your shaky part, everything will break up.
100%. And you know what, Miz? What I've seen is teams like an Everton, right? Who will not push, who will not press that much. It's like predominantly like a low block team. So everybody's chill, right from the goalkeeper, right from Edouard Mendy, right to our back three. Everybody's chill, dallying the ball around, sidewinding passes, and everything is jolly. You get a team like a Leeds, you get a team like a Liverpool, Man City, who will press the hell out of you.
But
you will have shaky legs.
They will not let you breathe.
And you as a goalkeeper who are not accustomed to that sort of gameplay, you will have shaky legs.
Yeah.
And you will cause mistakes like these. You would remember the mistake against Edu Mendy made against Benzema, Real Madrid.
And Benzema did the same thing. He pressed.
Same thing, right?
Pressed.
Same thing. Benzema did not give up on the pressing. And many committed the mistake. Don't you think that the other strikers are seeing this? Oh, if I press Mendy hard, probably, this guy
he'll be shaky. He'll be shaky.
Yeah,
he'll be shaky.
He'll be shaky. This guy can give me some gifts. We need to talk about this, Miss. I think so. This has to be a
it has to be a conversation, man. Conor Gallagher and Jorginho.
Yeah.
Bro, I've always said Jorginho, when he comes across teams that are far mobile, far robust, far energetic and physical, if you isolate Jorginho the way they did today, it is so easy to go past him. How many times did they just breeze past him and Jorginho was like literally just hang. Jorginho looks good at times with the ball, but when you come across teams like this, but I can't even have a full go at because Conor Gallagher was struggling as well, Ishan. Conor Gallagher was swamped. There was a stat at halftime, both Gallagher and Jorginho had less than 70% pass accuracy because they got pressured. Bruh.
Yeah.
This is where I feel like Thomas Tuchel didn't prepare that midfield, bro. We got outnumbered, Ishan. There was at least 3, sometimes 4 against 2. Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Cucurella were too wide.
Yeah.
They weren't coming in, and also Mason Mount. He wasn't coming in to help his brothers out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, that midfield was diabolical, bro.
Miss, first of all, I always thought, and you know it, Conor Gallagher in a double pivot, I always felt shaky. I always felt uncertain. And today was one of the games, probably not the best opponent to start Conor Gallagher in the double pivot, I thought. Because it was way too much. Probably if it was someone like let's say
Everton or something. Everton or Leicester maybe next week.
Leicester probably, or even a West Ham.
Bournemouth maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
Bournemouth, any team, would like to not press you that hard. That would have been probably made sense to start Gallagher. This game just blew Gallagher away. He was nowhere in the scene. He did not have time. He just naturally panicked in that double pivot. I'm not sure if Conor Gallagher made even one forward pass. I don't remember because he was so
Bro,
pressurized.
he was lucky to just even make any pass, let alone forward. Because they were like, they were
Yeah,
all over him.
100%, and he couldn't do anything. And I think so that's one of the vulnerabilities we had in the match. The double pivot. They were the most underperforming, players in the field. I think so. That was the
Wow.
weakest. But Miz, that's another narrative to it. All right. What happens here is in the first half, Conor Gallagher, Jorginho not performing well. Fine, we saw that he's not performing well. What is the change that we made in the second half? All right, fine. Change the system. What did we do? Change it to a back four. Now what happens?
Yeah.
Still the double pivot remains, but we have a back four. No, zero effect.
Zero
Zero
effect.
effect.
Zero effect.
No change.
This is what I said in the watch along. Remember, some people are saying we need to change our system. We need to change to a back four. We changed to a back four. No change.
No
No
change.
change.
Nothing happened. So
Nothing
probably,
happened.
and
It was
Miz, I think so. Just on a hindsight as well, probably Conor Gallagher's it's the first start of the season,
yeah,
in
it
a
was.
double pivot position, in a CDM position where he's not accustomed to. He's a number 8 for me. He's not a number 6. He's a number 8 for me. He's a number 10 for me, sort of. You could say a number 10 for me, but he's being played in a number 6, in a double pivot or a double 6, which you'd like to call, not his preferred position. Isn't it the responsibility of Mason Mount to cover Conor Gallagher? Where was he the whole match? When you see your
Bro,
body struggling, why don't you drop down and assist him?
but honestly, we have to talk about a few players, and I've been honest about Mason Mount last season as well. I tell you, he's good predominantly. He's good, but he's not superb. He's not next level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mason Mount, he needed to drop in and help out his midfielders today.
yeah,
He needed to make sure that we didn't get outnumbered.
yeah,
He didn't do anything up front, nor did he do anything in midfield, nor did he do anything in defense.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like for me, Mason Mount, just I need to see more. Look, at least he runs around. At least you can see that he tries, but it's not good enough.
But Miz, on the very contrary, you know the fact that we always talk about Mason Mount runs, but when we're not seeing him on the pitch, where is he running? You would see in his
You're
first
right.
year at Chelsea, he was all over the pitch. He was there in attack. He was on the flanks. He was there with Kante, Jorginho. He was there in the defense as well, trying to build up the gameplay. He was everywhere on the pitch. If you look at Mason Mount's heat map from the first season that he played under Frank Lampard, and now it has changed a lot, and that's a point of concern for me. I don't want Mason Mount to be complacent, to be negligent, and just to change his game style, to be specifically focused in terms of his off the
Do you
ball
know
gameplay.
why? Because he probably starts thinking he's undroppable because he starts every game. There doesn't seem to be any competition in his position.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Another player I need to talk about, I only realized after the 65th minute that he actually was playing for us. I thought we were one man down, even with Koulibaly down. Kai Havertz, Ishan. I literally didn't even know he was in the field.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he did.
Yeah.
Ishan, this is the third game.
Third season.
Third season. Why aren't we going out there and getting a striker, man? We've wasted too much time in this transfer window, man. We cannot, I repeat, I've said this many, we cannot continue the season with Kai Havertz and Amanda Broha being our frontline strikers, or supposed strikers, Kai Havertz, false nine, whatever the BS you want to call it. Because today it looked like it was two up front with Sterling and Kai. Kai wasn't even there, man. At least Sterling was trying to do something, taking his man. And this is the other issue, Sean. Conor Gallagher, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. Every time they're 1v1,
Back pass.
They can't. They can't go through.
It's a back pass.
We can't do. Look at Leeds, bro. Every time they were trying to take your man on.
Yeah.
Rodrigo, Jack Harrison. Every time they want to take your man on. Bro, what do we do with this Kai Havertz, bro? What do we do with this guy?
Man, miss, I think so. Even this game was way out of his league.
It was
You know
way
what I
out of
mean?
his league. It was way out of
The
his league.
pace he could not understand. It's like you take a medical student and make him sit in an engineering exam. That was his sort of reaction. It was out of syllabus for him. The pace was way too much.
Yeah.
We call him the silky German, but today was all turned into ashes. He was nowhere on the ground.
All turned into ashes.
He was found to be nowhere. And the worst part, he played 90 freaking minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the worst part. What did he do? Absolutely nothing. And he played 90 freaking minutes. That's the point. We don't have any options on the bench. If we had, probably he.
Ishan, honestly, when Havertz goes back to the dressing room,
Yeah.
and Thomas Tuchel says to him, "What did you do in 90 minutes?" What's Havertz gonna say? What will be his reply?
Bro.
What can he say? Give me one positive that you can say. What did he do?
At least Lukaku had an answer. He would have said, "I've tied shoelace 5 times." What is gonna Havertz say? What is? Yeah. Lukaku had an answer to this question, miss. He would say, "I had 10 thumbs up and 5 shoelaces." What?
5 expected shoelace, 5 expected tying shoelaces, and 10 expected thumbs up. Havertz doesn't even do that. Give me thumbs up at least.
No, this is mad, miss. This is serious. Listen, I mean, it's his 3rd season, yeah, and we thought him to be a prodigy for us. We thought him to be the anchor of the team, isn't it? I'm not understanding why a player like Kai Havertz, who's absolutely ripped it in Bundesliga, at his team Bayern Leverkusen, why isn't he taking the responsibility to score goals? The only guy in the pitch that I see is feeling the responsibility to score is Raheem Sterling. Because every time he has the ball in his foot, he feels like he wants to find something, create something, score. Kai Havertz never. How can you be an attacker and never take a one-on-one on any man? How can you give back passes every single time?
Disgusting.
It's mad. This has to change. I mean, we don't have options. That's the worst part as well.
What more to say about this game, Ishan? There's not much to say. We've been outplayed, outcoached, outmuscled, bullied, destroyed, embarrassed, abused, harassed. Koulibaly, red card as well. Koulibaly got rattled, Ishan. Koulibaly got rattled. This game for him. Welcome to the Premier League, Koulibaly. Do you know what I mean? This was way too much for him, man. Way too much. That first yellow card, he got beaten. The player went around him and he had to hold on to him. That's a yellow. And then in the second half, the yellow, I don't even know why he wanted to get that yellow card. Like, there was no need for that.
That was.
But I think his mind wasn't there. He saw the pace of the match and he said, "Oh my God, this is not Serie A."
Yeah, 100%. This was way too much. I think so. The pace was too much, He played against an Everton. It was a cool, calm, composed game. We were all over Everton. We had the...
He saw himself into the final third. He started to think, wow, Premier League is pretty good.
Yeah. I'm liking Premier League. It's good. It tastes good. Finger licking good,
Maybe I'll become a striker.
Yeah. Oh, Thomas, Gaffer, you don't have a striker. I can be one for you. I can do both the things, But again, Spurs game, we were under control. We were anchoring the game. So he was much comfortable.
Spurs didn't press like that, bro. Spurs did not press like that.
Nowhere near. This game, it blew him away. The pace just blew him away. It was unexpected for him, It was like a sandstorm coming and you're just gone, vanished.
Yeah.
It was hit him like a sandstorm.
All the Chelsea players came into the field like, yep, we're going to do this. We're going to get this win easy. Then a sandstorm came and everyone got rattled. They're like, what happened?
What just happened?
What happened?
Yeah. The pace was too much for him, I think so. I'm not saying that he can never adjust or else he's played bad, but I think so the pace was just too much for him. Eventually he has to adapt to this because just like you said, welcome to the Premier League. It's like this. It's unexpected. But yeah, I think so. One of the points why we looked way too bad in defensive as well because he's up backbone of defense. Koulibaly. Let's be honest.
100%. Ishan, let's wrap this up with some conversation about Thomas Tuchel now, because I think we need to finish things off with Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
Against Spurs last week, I said that was tactically we did well against Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
We did enough to score more goals. We didn't. This game, Ishan, it's not acceptable that our opposition team is out maneuvering you in midfield, clearly, is outthinking you in terms of their defensive structure and their pressing as a unit. And it's not acceptable that your opposition is running 10 to 11 kilometers more, which gives me an impression you did not prepare your team for this sandstorm, as you said. You did not expect the sandstorm. I don't know what you expected. I said it in my preview. And Ishan, we have watched Leeds before. Chelsea, Leeds, other matches. We've watched Leeds. One thing they do is they run.
Yeah.
But today, not only they ran with structure.
Mm-hmm.
They ran as a unit. It wasn't like one player running.
Yeah.
It was 3-4 together running as a pack, as a pack of wolves. Ishan, some words about Thomas Tuchel, bro.
Bro, this is one of the very few games. I don't even remember if I've ever said this, but this game probably is the only game I can say Thomas Tuchel was thrashed tactically. He was demolished. Listen, first thing first, back three wasn't working. We changed into a back four. Still no result. No changes. No effect whatsoever. One failure there. Second, how can you let your opponent run 10 kilometers more than your team? You could see the statistics at halftime. You were a data guy, right? You can see, you flaunt about being a data guy. Didn't you check the data that at halftime itself they were around 6 kilometers ahead of you, and next half nothing changed? How could you let that? That's the second thing. That's the second thing. Third thing, could you count how many times did we get offside? And
minimum 6 or 7. Minimum.
And it was not just one player, but a chain of all players, including
many players.
Wing backs.
Yeah.
That is, you got scammed tactically. You know what I mean? You got heavily scammed. You had a high. Leeds had a high line. You thought you could pass them very well, easily. You could cut through the defense and just run through with the likes of Sterling, Reece James, Havertz, Cucurella, whatever. Every time you tried that, every time you got caught offsided, and very rightly so. We cannot come out and complain here that any decision was false. Absolutely not.
No.
Every decision was spot on. You got tactically
no issues with referee. No issues
with the referee today. You got tactically just beaten today. And one of the very few games I can say that. Fourth thing, every ball retention, if you see Leeds, everything is in the midfield. Your midfield was done today. Done out here.
Even when we had 3 in midfield in the second half.
Exactly.
You can even say 4 with Mason Mount in the top tip. Yeah. Even then, it looked like they had so much space in midfield. How?
We just got tactically done. Thomas Tuchel has to take a lot of blame. And like you said, Miz, it looked like our team wasn't prepared for the storm. It just looked like this was too much for them. When you let
we thought it was going to be a picnic. We thought we were just going to have a picnic, get a picnic basket out, have some sandwich, have some drinks.
Yeah, it looked like you were, a 5th grade student going out to give your board examinations, and it was that kind of a thing. Unprepared to the level of extremity, tactically outdone. Your attacks are not working. You're trying hard to attack, but every time you do, it's getting offside. You're trying to pass ball in the midfield, but every time you lose the ball, every time they have the ball, they lose, they get back again. Every time they attack, they've got an intention to score. Our goalkeepers, putting up howlers after howlers. Our midfielders are panicking. Defenders shitting on our pants. It was outrageous today, man. What did I just see?
I am shook, bro. I'm actually scared. I think we need to wrap up this review, bro. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. Ishan, look, we better wake up for. The only positive I can see is that this has been early in the season. Hopefully, we can brush this off. Hopefully, some new faces can come through until the window closes. But we have our homework cut out, bro. We do. We have our homework absolutely cut out. Ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. Let us know your thoughts, how you felt about this game. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Look, I know the weekend is destroyed for all of us Chelsea fans. We know that.
By the way, big up to Leeds. They played amazing. Big up to Leeds.
Big up.
You have to accept the defeat. You know.
If any Leeds fans are watching this, you guys owned us. You owned us. It's not that we played bad and you got lucky. You owned us. Let that be real out there. I shall see you guys sometime tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, see ya.